Welcome back to Making Life Easier as You Age. Today we're going to find a place for your hobby. My entire life, my passion for painting has been like the ocean. It flows out, it flows in. Sometimes it's flowed out for 10 years, and I haven't painted a thing. But before it flows in again, I've had other messy hobbies, and I've always wanted a place where I could just make a mess, where it didn't matter if I get paint on the walls or glue on the floor, where I don't have to pick up every night. If a project takes 2 weeks, then it stays a mess for 2 weeks. I dreamed of a studio over the years. It was a large space with plenty of light, but it wasn't affordable, until I began to think smaller, until I began to think existing foundation and walls and roof to keep the costs manageable. One thing I had on my property was an old laundry shed. It met the criteria of existing foundation, walls, and roof. It was a creepy place with one hanging light bulb and no windows, and it was only 6.5 feet wide. But if I got rid of my old washer and dryer and got an Energy Star rated stackable washer and dryer, I could free up enough room for a little studio. I was fortunate enough to be working at that time with a young architect, Carl Sapura. Carl is also a master carpenter and had helped me with many small projects before. Working evenings and weekends, he turned my once creepy shed into a workable studio that I still enjoy to this day. Installing the window made all the difference in the feel of the space. I would have put in a much larger window, except moving the electrical panel would have doubled my budget for the project. Remain flexible, as you may have to make some design compromises for the sake of your budget. As you can see, the space here is pretty tight. Once I had enclosed the carport and put in this back door, the shed entrance was now inside the garage, so another door was redundant. What I wanted was any light from the garage should get in, but none of the heat. I chose to use a doorway system used in commercial freezers. It takes up no room, does not block the light, and helps keep the heat from the garage out of my studio. Now, the one thing my space doesn't have is air conditioning. I looked into portable freestanding air conditioners and window air conditioners, and there's a reason you can't find one that's Energy Star rated. It's because they don't exist and they're energy hogs, and it would have driven my electrical bill through the roof. So there's about 4 months out of the year here in Phoenix when I can't use the studio after 7 in the morning. It's just too stinking hot. But 8 months out of the year, I have no problems being out here. Now I realize everyone isn't as lucky as I am. They don't have a little shed they can convert to their hobby space. But if you have a large garage, you could put in a partition wall. Remember, your garage already has power, and if you have a washer and dryer out there, it's got water as well. Those really save on your construction costs. If not your garage, check your house. It could be the corner of a larger room. It could be a walk-in closet. It could be a small closet. There's some space that can handle your hobby. And if the space is very small, like my studio is here, check online for space-saving techniques for storage and tables and such. Here's one space-saving technique I used in my garage. Since I have a single-car garage, there isn't room for a workbench. I made a fold-down workbench with plywood 2x4s and hinges. The same idea could be used for a work surface in a tight space in your existing home. Also consider that many closets have extra space beyond the door opening. This is a great place for shelves to hold supplies. You know, another space you can consider is your patio. You already have the slab. You may already have a covering for a roof. It's adjacent space to your house, so the possibility of running your air conditioning and heating out there exists. Electricity and water would be cheaper to run to an adjacent space. I certainly considered my patio. It's way bigger than this shed, but the swaying factor for me was that the shed had a sink and water already, and I needed that for cleanup. Make your list of everything you want in your hobby space. Consider it your dream list, and then start looking at your home and a place where you could carve out for your hobby. Hobbies are important, and now that you're retired or retiring soon, you have all the time in the world to do your hobby. You don't have to steal an evening or a weekend here and there. And hobbies bring us joy, and joy just makes your life easier. Until next time.